this is working or if it's going to work, but we are going to find out. And it's going to be embarrassing for the first couple of minutes because I'm not going to find out if I'm streaming until the couple seconds of delay is over. However, if you are here, if I am actually talking, we will find out in a couple seconds. Let me see to make sure that I'm streaming. I hope to God that I am. Because I know that the show before me was able to do so. We will find out. We're probably still on a delay, but we'll find out. And then once I know that I'm going live on here, I'm gonna put up my Instagram live as well, because that would be great to have. Let me see if it's going or not. I don't know. Well, we're certainly recording, I know that. But whether or not we are streaming, I have no idea. So... Oh, just now. Amazing. Wow, we're actually doing it. We are going to find out. It's going to be embarrassing for the first couple of minutes. Incredible. Love to see it. Hi, guys. And I'm going to put myself on live for Instagram too, so that we can get that up and going. If you're just tuning in, we're going to go live. I'm going to take, hello. I'm going to take my, I have like time settings on my Instagram, like my screen time. And I know that it's going to tell me that I can't use my Instagram in a second, so I don't want that to like shut off in the middle of my recording. Anyway, basically, sorry, I know this is going to be janky for the first couple of minutes because of the fact that this is new and we have to not be at Govs right now. All right, well, basically, my dad just texted me. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So, hello to everyone. I'm going to be going double live on Govs Radio as well as on my Instagram. Hello to everyone. I can't see you, so don't try to comment. I'm sorry. I know that I'm on. Thank you. Welcome to PunKrap, etc. This week is quarantine week. We are going live via my kitchen. This is my very interesting setup. I hope, oh, good, yeah. I hope that people on Instagram are watching. This is my ridiculously janky setup with my laptop, like literally upside down. But we're going to be doing PunKrap, etc. from 2 different live streams tonight, Instagram as well as from Facebook and Govs Radio. So because of the fact that the studio is shut down because of COVID, I am going to be doing my radio show from right here at my kitchen table. And tonight we have a sketchbook session. So we're going to do my next concert that I went to, which was Neil Diamond, a second Neil Diamond concert in August of 2008, which I, to be honest with you, really don't remember, like literally at all. So today is going to be just like a lot of fun to draw or like paint. I'm going to take the opportunity now that I'm like here at my actual like kitchen to be able to do things that I couldn't normally do at the station, which is basically just like paint with real paint, essentially. So we're going to be doing that tonight. And I'm actually going to finish up my one from last time because I didn't have a pink highlighter to be able to finish this off. So I guess we're going to do that right now. But if you've never been here before via Instagram, because I normally don't go live via Instagram, welcome to PunKrap, etc. This is the show where I talk about music in concerts, as well as I do sketchbook sessions. I also do like live music, which I did last week with Jiraiya, and that was a lot of fun. That was the week before we got shut down. So I'm glad that we got to get that in, because that would have sucked if he came all the way in from the Bronx and then got canceled. These are the things I've done so far on PunKrap, etc. We've done some sketchbook sessions for my first concert, which was Hilary Duff in 2004. And then Neil Diamond, my first Neil Diamond concert in 2005 at Madison Square Garden. And then my third concert was in 2006, American Idol Live at Nassau Coliseum. And basically, today we're going to do the fourth concert I've ever been to. I guess we skipped 2007. I never went to a concert in 2007, so that's fine. But basically, we're going to do a sketchbook session for this Neil Diamond concert that I barely remember. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to work this way today. Let me get a paper plate so that I can put my paint down. But basically, I don't remember this concert really at all, to be completely honest with you. So I'm just going to base it off of the fact that I know I was very stunned as a child that there were places as large as Madison Square Garden to be able to like hold all these people, you know? So we're just going to paint Madison Square Garden, to be honest. So we're going to start out with like a sketch, like a preliminary sketch. But I know that we were sitting high up because, you know, money, right? Should I get a pencil? No, I'll start with red so that we can see. But basically, I'm gonna put like, honestly, I'm just gonna make this like very ethereal and like not really worry too much about like real logistics. Because the dome would go here, and I'm honestly just gonna like kind of paint this black and go a little bit more abstract with it to be real. So I hope everyone's quarantine is going all right, as okay as it can be. Listening in the future to this is going to be funny because, you know, so much of our media is going to revolve around COVID for such a long time, and then it's just not. So that's going to be interesting. But I'm painting with acrylics today because I can, and I have them here at my house. So what brush do I want? I haven't painted in like a hot minute and a half, so please don't judge me. Hold on. I'm also making sure that you can see everything in my broadcast because sometimes that doesn't happen. And again, this is all, so we got this set up so that we can record remotely, which is amazing, but definitely more of a hassle than just recording with like the really good cameras and stuff at Govs. So we got a couple of hellos to some people. Tony, who runs the place, kind of goes, or from Knock 'em Dead Comedy, said, I want to see a sketchbook session tomorrow where you draw your parents. Yeah, okay. I still work full time, so that's going to be maybe one day, Tony. So I have to be always careful with this because I don't want to go through to the next page, but I should be okay considering the fact that like this is acrylic and it shouldn't bleed. That's why I didn't do watercolor, and this is very thick paper for a sketchbook. So we're just gonna, this is gonna be a shorter session today just because I'm kind of tired and I honestly really don't remember a lot about this concert. I know that my mom and I have seen Neil Diamond like 3, if not 4 times. I can't remember off the top of my head. But because my dad just keeps getting us tickets to see him, which is lovely. And he's like super old now. Not that he always wasn't, but like he was, he's like 70 something now at this point, I think. No offense to any 70-year-olds out there, but that's older than I am. So, you know, that's my perspective basically. And you would say the same thing if you were younger. We're gonna put a piece of something underneath here so that I don't get it on the pages below. If I could actually use my hands like a human being. I had this. That's what I forgot about. I have a sink here, which is something I don't have at Gov, so that's a good thing. But what I remember about, because this would have been 2008, I would have been like 11. I think what I can kind of remember about this is just that my shock always that Madison Square Garden is the place that can hold that many people and that many people like really came out to this, you know? I think I was always shocked about that. And I just thought it was so cool that the people would come out to this. And like I remember seeing Billy Joel a couple of years later. I I would have been 11 here. I would have been like 16. So yeah, like 5 years later or so. Um, and I remember being like just like awestruck that people actually like came out. Not to say there's nothing against Billy Joel. It's more like my own miffedness at the fact that like that many people existed, you know? Because when you're little, you're like, there's 5 people in the world. Me, my mom, my dad, my brother, and like my teacher. Um, so I think that was my confusion. And I think my first concert was at Madison Square Garden, which is like something that I don't think that a lot of people can say. Um, like that their first concert was at like one of the biggest concert venues in the world, essentially. I think it might. I don't know if it is. Somebody tell me the truth. I don't actually know if it is or it isn't. But we're gonna let that dry for a little bit, and that's the fun with paints, is that we have to let it dry, because otherwise we're gonna mix the colors. And this is gonna be a very basic, very very basic abstract painting. I keep saying that, but um, you know, just for fun, just to let you know. I literally only brought like 5 colored paints upstairs, so that's what we're gonna be dealing with. I keep checking the Instagram to be like, hello, who joined? I'm interested if people are actually still there or not. Instagram Live's funny because I really don't use it ever, so it's like I don't know who's still watching, but I know everyone's bored. So here's me painting. What I always really liked about Neil Diamond is like whenever I would see him, I always just felt this huge sense of community. I always remember being like the youngest one to be attending, but there was something about the fact that like a lot of his songs are songs that you might not necessarily know that you know, until you hear them. Like everyone knows Sweet Caroline. Like let's be real here. Um, but like there are other songs like America and like Forever in Blue Jeans and like a couple others here and there that aren't coming to the top of my head right now that like you'd know even if you don't specifically listen to Neil Diamond. And I always just like Sweet Caroline is like the stereotypical like, like block party song or like Sweet 16 song that comes on and you and all your like relatives dance with each other to it and stuff like that. Um, I always thought that was just kind of special that he's got that legacy. That and the fact that he can span over so many decades worth of people. Like I was, 6 when I first went to his concert. 6? How old would I have been in 2000? What the hell year was that? 2004? I would have been 7? No, no, no. Wait. Oh, my first concert was at, I'm sorry, let me take that back. Um, my second concert was at MSG. My first was in Bryant Park. So, 2005, I would have been 8. And the fact that like an 8-year-old and like her mother, I don't even know how old my mother would have been, and I'm sure that she'd appreciate me not saying it even if I did. Um, going to this concert and being able to both listen to this music. And as I said in my last Neil Diamond concert sketchbook, he was someone that I got to listen to because my parents have like a whole bunch of CDs. Let me reclarify. My father has a bunch of CDs in not the basement, our like den. And so I would just go down and like pick stuff out. But I remember him giving this to me, and it's a very like stark cover that I haven't been able to find and like in like regular, like it's not on Spotify or anything like that. Um, I don't know why, but I remember being like, oh, this is frightening. It's just like a really close up picture of his face. And I always thought that was a little scary. But basically, I wonder if you can see because my hand's in the way. I'm sorry, I'm left handed. But because of the lighting, I had to set it up this way. So, um, what the hell was I saying? You can't see the white on here. I'm very aware of that. But I want to paint down white so that the gold will come up brighter. Oh, so I would listen to his stuff. Um, it was very like haunting, you know. Maybe I want to paint the whole thing black. No, I don't want to do that. Um, Very haunting album cover. And what's funny is now, like even when we see him or like talk about him, I have like songs that I really like of his, and my mom will be like, "How do you even know? Like, why is that your favorite song?" There's this song called "Solitary Man" by Neil Diamond, and that is such a good song. And I was singing it as like how old, I can't remember how old I was, like 6. So I'd be like this little 6-year-old singing like Solitary Man. I was like talking about how these women have wronged me. Like, okay, okay, baby MJ. Like, yeah, sure. All these men have wronged you. I'm sorry, all these women have wronged you. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I have very vivid memories of listening to this as a kid. Um, hope that I'm in frame. My laptop is dying fast. Dad, if you can hear this, please bring me my charger. Again, this probably isn't going to take that long, um, because I don't remember this one as well as I would more recent concerts, and I'm really excited to get, theoretically, based on the projection of my concerts, of my shows, I should be able to accomplish all of the shows that I was going to as like a kid without a lot of memory, by the end of 2020. So that's a good thing, because I really want to get into the ones that are more recent. And I have like, I think I'm at 140 concerts right now, so I have like a little bit of time to get through them. But we're going to do some dots because what I really love about MSG is that you would just see this like ocean of people. Like, I'm going to make the dots closer to me bigger, and I'm going to make the dots further away from me like really tiny. Because you always have like, I guess people on their phones wasn't like so much of a thing back then because like people kind of were just getting phones like more often back then. But in my mind, there was just like lights everywhere because there were like, they would have lights in the stadium. Um, but what I always really loved about MSG or big concert venues in general is that you'd be able to look out and just see all of these, wonderful, beautiful lights, um, around you of like the people next to you with like their cell phones and stuff. Um, and then you have like the big main light, like the big sun. I kind of equated it to like the solar system, where you have like the big sun in the middle, and then you'd have like all these beautiful little like outward stars all around you. Um, and I just always thought that was really pretty and beautiful. Like, I can't see anyone, but like they're all there. I haven't painted with acrylics in a very long time, but we're gonna kind of like mimic the fact that this light flows out a little bit from the stage, as well as paint a little bit out here, and kind of like allude to the fact that this does get like a little dome shaped. Because my mind, I don't know if you get where I'm going with this, and I know that on the video there's a little bit of a glare, unfortunately, because I just have to deal with like my kitchen lighting, but my mind is that like this is where Neil Diamond is, and then like all of this is where I'm sitting over here, and then all of this is like the upper bowl of MSG and like the lower bowl of MSG and like the pit, the seated pit. Because I don't think anyone was standing during a Neil Diamond concert. Well, you would, but like during certain songs. Um, and so it's also the only person I've gone to every concert with my mother to. Because every time that we went, my dad always bought tickets for us. So we'd always go together, which was a lot of fun. I always looked forward to. I know after a certain point, Mom and I were like, we don't need to see Neil Diamond again. But there's something kind of very like nostalgic about his music, thinking about the fact that like, I got to go and experience these things. One with my mother, two is like, a tiny human, for the first time, which was awesome. And I still like look back on these concerts as like kind of what got me hooked almost. I know that there's like one big concert, and that's going to be like the day I really take 2 hours to do this, because it's like the concert that kind of kickstarted me into like really being such a fiend for them. Uh, and I'll tell you what that is when we get to it. But we have to wait until we get to 2015, and that's not going to happen in the near future. So we got to wait on that. But this is kind of looking how I want it to, because I wanted to like have the brighter lights be closer to us. And then I have some gold and some silver I'm going to pop in there. And I also want to mimic That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I wanted to mimic like the beams that come out of the stage, that come out like kind of towards you. I want to do that also. I'll make sure my Instagram is still going. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. If you're new here, we're doing my radio show or my podcast live from my house because our radio station got shut down because of COVID. Because duh, it makes sense, understandable, but also ugh. So I'm doing a sketchbook session for my fourth ever concert, which was Neil Diamond again from Madison Square Garden. And I don't really remember this one a lot, so we're doing like a very abstract kind of painting of just like MSG as a whole. And yeah, that's what we're working with. Right now I'm building up the dots, and I know that there weren't really like cell phones as prevalent at this time, but for some reason, maybe like people had like lighters or like glow sticks or something. I have no idea. If my mom can ring in on this, I can't get texts, but maybe she is watching on Facebook. I have no idea. I always just remember like there being like a lot of lights, and of course, like again, the beams coming off of the actual stage itself. I'm going to draw a very tiny Neil Diamond in there for kicks. The good thing about filming here is that I get to just be in my pajamas as I've been for the past however long, because I'm also working from home. And I know that a lot of this is, very scary for anyone listening in the future when this goes up on Spotify and stuff. We're right at the very beginning, or what I think is the beginning, hopefully the middle or the end, but I don't think so, of like COVID quarantine / self-isolation. And it's funny because I've seen a lot of people going like live on Instagram and sharing their stuff recently. So when I put this up, I was like, either everyone's going to watch or no one's going to watch, which is fine either way, because everyone's busy and doing their own stuff. But I thought I'd share on multiple platforms if I have the ability to, because when I'm at Govs, I have like a very specific setup, and when I'm here, I have a very janky, ridiculous setup of my phone is currently propped up on, let me explain this to you. So my laptop is full-fledged upright on top of a stack of magazines in a little box that we normally have in our our living room. And then the way that it's standing upright is that this part over here is held up by a tissue box upside down on top of our paper towel dispenser. And then my phone is being held on our cup holder, like our little cup tree, with the outside thick, like, bought part of our, I don't know what this, like a tissue box cover, I guess is what you'd call it. It's standing inside the slit of the tissue box cover so that you guys can see properly. So this is the commitment that I'm willing to put into my craft. Oh, that was a little bigger than I had wanted it to be. It's fine. So I'm kind of like expanding from like the brighter lights closer to me, and then I want like the silvers to be on the inside. What time is it? I have no idea. 9:23. Okay. Genuinely, Dad, if you're watching, please bring me down my charger. Thank you. My laptop's gonna die. Oh god, that would suck. If he doesn't hear this, I'm gonna go upstairs in a couple minutes and grab it back down. So, yeah, I might come in one day when I do a more complicated painting. I might come in and do, like, come in with it kind of painted so that it doesn't take up more than my 2-hour time slot. And what I'm doing, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm taking the back of my paintbrush to make, like, perfect circles. And then I'm taking the bottom of it to be able to make, like, more streaky marks. And then what I did with, like, these is I took white paint and diluted it with water so that it would look a lot more transparent instead of opaque. Opaque is when you can't see through it. Transparent is when you can. This is kind of looking how I wanted it to. It's like I wanted to create like a moving in motion because I wanted these to be darker, the inner ones, and also like maybe more steep. So like I wanted them to be kind of closer together so that you got the feeling that like people were sitting in stands really close to each other. That's kind of the feel I was going for. I'm also glad I got to use my metallic paints because I bought these a while ago for like a different project and then I never used them. So I'm getting to use them now. I want to create like kind of the fact that it is bowling upward. It's funny because I always get really insecure when I'm painting something kind of more or doing something more abstract because I'm like, I feel like I have to explain myself more than if I would if I just like drew a face or something like that, you know? But like I don't have to. No one can look at this and automatically just be like that's bad. Like it's what I want it to be. So it's not bad. But I think I've kind of conditioned myself to think that way, to think that like something that might need explanation is bad, but that's not the truth. I have to remember I have to keep talking because when this goes on Spotify later, otherwise you're going to be very confused as to why I stopped talking. But talking while I'm painting is something, and I've talked about this every time I've done a podcast with a sketchbook session, is that I'm awful at talking while I'm creating, apparently. I want to add a little bit of black to the silver because I want this to be a little bit less dark than it currently is. But I say a little bit of black, and black is like the most potent color. So a little bit of black goes a long way for anyone who didn't know that. Um, this is also not a tutorial. You don't do this at home. Or do. I don't do what you want, you know? That's kind of what I wanted. That's kind of the feeling, like when you look out into MSG. That's kind of what I wanted to accomplish. So that's looking good so far. And then I want to take, if I have a fan brush, I'll use it. If I don't, then I won't. Oh, I do. I have a mini fan brush. Baby child. And I kind of want to like, this might be a bad idea, but we're going to figure it. We're going to find out. Yeah. Kind of wanted it to just, like they were like going inward. Yeah. A little bit. And I didn't want the white ones to do it, so that's why I didn't do it earlier. That's fun. That little gold one. Yeah. Okay. Hi. All I can see right now is that Anthony waved and that Essen said, "Hi, my love." So hello to the couple people that I can see who said hello. So thank you for watching. This is looking good so far. I'm happy with this. We're going to paint a little tiny Neil diamond in the middle. Just for kicks, kind of. I think I'm like kind of close to done, to be quite honest with you. So he should be like, okay, I don't want to fuck this up. So we're going to take a little bit of that mixed black and silver with the white, and we're going to dilute it with some water. And I want to make like the other side of this spotlight. Yeah, perfect. And if we don't like that, then we're going to further dilute it, like I'm doing right now with the water. And the good thing about acrylic is that it's water-based, so you can use water to do your bidding, basically. And I'm going to take some of it out because I didn't want all of that gray. There we go. And we can also put white back over it if we want. That was probably dumb because I'm going to paint black over that in a hot sec. But I do want to darken this section right here because I didn't want that black to show through. And I'll just flick it up like it was before. In the meantime, while that's drying, well, first I'm going to fix this because it's not as perfect of a circle as I wanted it to be. There we go. And then this on the side also isn't as perfect as I wanted it to be. Amazing. We love to see her. Hi, Christina. It's funny because I have like my like home and like high school and college friends on my Instagram, and then I have like my like relatives on Facebook or like people I don't even know. Um, so hi to everyone, basically. It's good that you can hear me. So my audio like obviously isn't as good as it would be at Gov's. So I was like, let me see if I can wear headphones or if like it'll be better or not. Um, so I was like worried about the quality, but you can hear me, so that's a good thing. I want to take. I don't want to do this. Oh, I have it right here. Duh. Okay, so I'm gonna write in the date of when I went to this concert because that's what I've been doing at the top. And eventually, actually, I have a whole bunch. I like once I turned 21 and I started to get wristbands at concerts. I started to keep them, so I have them. I don't know which ones go to which concert, but I want to start incorporating those into my paintings once I know that I've gone to a concert where I was 21. So that'll take a really long time though. Um, so that's that. And then the last thing I want to do, I know this is really short, but this is again a concert I really don't remember that well. So I want to put Neil Diamond in the middle here. I want him to be like wearing black, but I don't want to start with that because I don't think that that's gonna. Worst comes to worst, if I screw this up in pink, then I can go back and like fix that. I just kind of want him to be like this little ethereal little pink being, because he's like the diamond, like I was a diamond girl for him. Like that's the kind of mood that I want to set for this Neil Diamond concert. So that's him. Fuck, I just messed up his head. He's huge, okay? He's gonna be huge, okay? That's just gonna be the vibe. Um, and he's gonna be wearing a black jacket, which I guess I should have done. I guess it's gonna be gray now. And little leg, little leg. Neil Diamond is huge, in case anyone was wondering. Here we go. A very strange bodied Neil Diamond. And I know he's huge in comparison to this whole scene. I'm gonna fix it up with some white paint, and I'm gonna go over his suit in black because that's what I want him to be wearing. So we're gonna give him a little bit of gray hair because that's what he has in my memory. Yeah, I know that he looks fucked up, but I don't really care. And that's his little hand and his other little hand. It's so ridiculous. And then his little microphone. Yeah. And the microphone top. Yeah, that's him. That's Neil Diamond. We're gonna give him a shadow for kicks. Um, just for fun. Isn't this whole thing for fun? Who's to say? Do you want it to extend backwards? Maybe. Mm. This is funny because I literally haven't painted in probably close to a year. Oh fuck, it went off the stage. When you shadow too big, it go off the stage. Okay, we can fix this, don't worry. And I know the light's theoretically coming from behind him because of how far away he is, but I don't really care, so don't come. Well, there's a lot of lights on him. Maybe there's a lot of lights on him. Maybe he can have more than one shadow. No, we're not gonna do that. What just happened? Oh, I got a Slack message. And we're gonna clean up this right here. And I'm gonna give him a real body that isn't weirdly gray. It's already, what time is it? It's 9:34. We did finish this up quite fast this time, but that's okay. It's a weird time. Sometimes we be painting mad fast. I wish I had made him a little smaller, but he looks good. That's Neil Diamond. Don't even get it twisted. Uh, and I'm gonna clean up his little face. because it's a little bit too big for my liking. Because his head, get my head smaller. We cut off his hair, but we'll go back and we'll give him some. Don't worry, Neil, we're coming back for you. I know you can't see shit. I'm sorry. That's like better. That's what I thought his head size should be. And he's like kind of like silver foxy by the time that I had seen him. He used to have like black hair, but like now he's kind of bald. Not bald, but like he's got some hair, but not a lot. That's okay. That's what Neil Diamond looks like. Yeah, you know, that's what he looks like. Don't even come for me. That's what he looks like. I'm like happy with that. There he goes. That's Neil Diamond. All right. I want to put before my laptop dies, before I die. No, I'm kidding. I want to put maybe one more, maybe like yeah, I want this beam to be larger and more opaque, as the kids say. But then there's like four beams. I don't, so in art, never do even numbers of things. Always do odd numbers of things. Because it looks better. See how there's four beams of light, like 1, 2, 3, 4? It's gonna look better when I do 5, I'll tell you. So even if it's just like a small one, that was a bad example. Hold on, let me pull this out. That looks better than it could have. And we're gonna give him 2 shadows because guess what? He's got a lot of lights on him. So Neil might have more than 1 shadow. I don't know how physics works, but you don't either. So shut up. There he goes. There's Neil Diamond. I'm gonna call it quits. I'm happy with that. Maybe? No, see, here's the thing. Then I get to like that too much gene type of vibe where like I want to do too much, but I should quit while I'm ahead. I do want to give this just a little bit of like a gold tinge. Yeah, that's literally all I wanted to do. Okay, incredible. Love to see it. So, here's my 4th concert sketching gig. Well, it's not, those weren't words. My 4th, oh wait, better this way. My 4th concert gig sketchbook page. And like I said, I can't fully close it, but we've done like this one, and we've done this one, and we've done this one. And they're all like really funnily elementary looking to begin with because that's just how I felt about the concerts. I want to get this so you can see it. I know the quality is going to be awful in this video, but that's fine. And to the Instagram. Oh, did we die? That's good. My Instagram live shut off midway. Why? I have no idea. Well, we're just gonna leave that one. And that's completely fine. So anyway, that was today's episode of PunKrap, etc. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's what I have for you today. And next week we will be back with I will actually be recording. I might record a little bit more often just because now I have like the time as well as like I don't have to be at the studio. I could theoretically just do it here, like pre-record. So, I'll let you know. I might do more. Um, but we'll see. I'll let you know. Theoretically, next week on PunKrap, etc. should be a album review. So tune in for that, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.